Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamualaikum. Ji ayanu bakhair agale ni hao chunushme washmale. Ohio gozaimas guten morgen. Hola boyo privyet kaifa hal? Harishoma chatore ahlan wa sahlan marhaba. Buna mucho gracias Bobby balli kare aaya. Hoş geldin and ayo sayo khuyamora chivato chi haljot kalimera and a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning on 25th of December alongside my very well-learned colleague who happens to be Miss Haja Satti. I happen to be Shahzad Hasan Khan, and to everybody out there, ladies and gentlemen, happy Quaid'S Day. Not just that, a very happy Merry Christmas to each and every one of you who's celebrating today as well. It's a great day over here, great energy, great vibe, and we hope that everybody out there who's actually watching us on PTV World screens right now are actually excited and thrilled and excited about the fact that we are going to be talking about Quaid'S Muhammad Ali Jinnah and celebrating Christmas alongside that as well. But first things first, hello Haja, assalamu alaikum. How excited do you feel today?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much for introducing me, Shahzad. Jazakallah khair. Christmas, happy Christmas to you and our viewers out there, and also happy Quaid'S Day to you and out there. Since it's a public holiday, so I think the roads were really easy, especially on the commuters like us, which have to travel from really far places. But apart from that, obviously, it is the birthday of a founder of Pakistan, Quaid'S Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and we celebrate his life every year. And I don't think so that a particular day should be dedicated to celebrating his life, because he was our leader. He created Pakistan. He created, crafted, I would say rather, Pakistan out of the map of the South Asia, and not just by. I would say that his struggle was entirely constitutional, because not once in his lifetime he was jailed in his struggle, and that is the strength of his character. That is the dignity of his personality, and I would say the aura and the charisma that he would still pull out among the leaders of the South Asia who were struggling against the colonization, who were struggling against the British Raj. And this was the personality of Quaid'S Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And on this day, I am reminded of one of the very famous quote of the Stanley Wolpert, which he wrote in the biography of Quaid'S Muhammad Ali Jinnah. I would like to recall it, that few individuals significantly alter the course of history. Fewer still modify the map of the world. Hardly anyone can be credited with creating a nation state. Muhammad Ali Jinnah did all of three, and that was the strength of his character, and that was actually how he created Pakistan. And I think we will reflect on his life, and also we would reflect, especially as the segment progresses, that how can we incorporate his principles and teachings, and where are we standing as of now?
Exactly, and this is something that, you know, for anybody who's actually in front of their television screens right now, and if you want your kids to learn, I guess that this is that program that you certainly want your kids to watch as well. Because today, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by people, you know, who are not just historians, but at the same time are teaching other students as well, are teaching PhD students, and, you know, people world over, you know, they have this in-depth research which they will be sharing with all of us, because this is not how we're going to go for it, you know. So imagine that we will start from his early life, education, what he did, and, you know, where people really need to draw inspiration for a leader who actually did all three as well.
Right.
And this is something which very rarely we see happening in the world over, and for Muslims to have a separate, independent, sovereign state to themselves is something which was his dream, and he fulfilled it. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we're celebrating the birthday of the father of the nation. But first, we really need to take a good look at this video. Go ahead, and then we will be introducing our worthy guests over here inside the studios on the occasion of the birth anniversary of the father of the nation, Quaid'S Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Let's go, let's take a good look.
आजाद रहे आप लोग इस मुल्क पाकिस्तान में अपनी अपनी इबादत गाहों, मस्जिदों या मंदिरों में जाने के लिए। आपका मजहब क्या है, जात क्या है, कौम क्या है, इसका हुकूमत के मामलात से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं।
Quaid'S tera ehsan hai, ehsan. And on this occasion, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by somebody who happens to be a public speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, he's Abdul Basit Mujahid Sahab. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you doing today?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am happy because we are celebrating Father of the Nations Day, and look, We are in a very beautiful capital in this studio, and we must be thankful to Allah first of all, and then to Quaid'S as well, that he made this impossible thing possible for us. And today we are standing in the Committee of Nation, taller, broader, and we have in our hand that very flag which you have just seen on the screens, and that was 11th August 1947, that speech which speaks of the vision and the foresight of the Quaid'S. So happy Quaid Day to you and all the audience.
Exactly, and thank you so much, sir,
you so much.
for sharing your emotions with us as well and with our viewers, and we exactly feel the same. But alongside him, we're very lucky that we have been joined by Professor Saab as well. Professor Saab has actually traveled all the way from Lahore to kind of speak on Quaid-e-Azam Day as well, and where Basit Mujahid Saab actually kind of referred about the vision. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously, it takes a person to kind of have that true understanding of what the future will be holding for the entire nation, and that's what Quaid-e-Azam was already addressing, and I think that certainly needs to be instilled in our values, in our character as a nation. So very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've been joined by a public speaker and author himself. He is Mr. Professor Salman Rafiq. Hello sir, Assalamu alaikum, good morning, how are you feeling today?
Wa alaikum assalam, thanks for inviting me here once again, and it's wonderful to be here on this auspicious occasion, the birthday of the father of the nation. And Jinnah, of course, was an outstanding leader, as my colleague has said, and he not only founded a nation state, as Stanley Wolpert and Madam said, but he founded the largest Muslim nation in the world.
That's true, and now let's reflect on the quote, because we had the video in which he was talking about that you're free to go to your mosque, to your temples or any other place of worship, and your place of worship has nothing to do with the state of business of Pakistan, right? So let's reflect upon that, what was his vision and what sort of a state he had in his mind, because unfortunately we were deprived of his leadership soon after the creation of Pakistan, after the 1 year, and we couldn't, he couldn't see, Pakistan progressing as much, because unfortunately death had some other plans for him. So let's reflect on that quote.
Yes, his words which he used, and which Azad often refers that you talk in the style of Quaid's mode of speaking English, and he said, remember that you are all Pakistanis, irrespective of caste, color or creed. Equal citizens of the state who must join hands together in order to succeed. So that is the thing which was reflected in this speech, that whether you are Christians, Hindus, Muslims, he said that there will come a day when Hindus will cease to be Hindus, Muslims will cease to be Hindus, and we will all be Pakistanis. And Christians and other minorities played a very decisive role in the formation of Pakistan. So when we have the unity, when we are all together, then we can really build up a strong nation. And this is going back to his hero, Quaid-e-Azam's hero, the Holy Prophet of Islam, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the Riyasat-e Medina, or in the at Medina, the government that he created, the state that he created, Jews and Christians and people of all creeds were there, and they participated as equal citizens.
Right. So Abdul Basit Mujahid Saab, now let's come back to you and let's reflect on his earlier life. And we can see that obviously he took his early education from here, from the subcontinent, and then he went to the Oxford, where he was educated in the principles or the ideas of the Western ideology. But we could see that Britishers did not wanted those ideas which they were preaching about equality, about brotherhood, about enlightenment in their colonies, right? They wanted to subjugate them, and there was a system that was designed just to serve the British elites at that time. So how much do you think his exposure to Oxford University, to this British system of the life, impacted his vision and led him to struggle for the decolonization in his own homeland? And that too, not just the decolonization, he wanted a separate state for the Muslims, because Hindus were dominating here, and he knew that the Pakistan or Muslims do not have a very good vision of future, and we can see that happening in India at the moment, right?
In fact, time is too short, and Quaid's life is so broad. But we must say, as you, Hajara, said, that look, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinaz, we start from his name. Look, his parents, how named him? Muhammad Ali. So the connections very strong with Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Hazrat Ali karamallahu wajhun kareem. So that impact is reflecting upon his life throughout his life. And second thing, you said that his early education is from this part of world.
Karachi.
Yes, Karachi,
Madrasatul
Bombay,
Islam, yes.
and then look, his primary school is in Bombay, then they shifted to Karachi again, then Sindh Madrasatul Islam, then this convent system also, and after that, in a very, what we could say, young age, he went to England, and at that time he was over there for just business apprenticeship. Then he opted to get education of law.
Right.
And look, what was happening at that time over there? He was just not getting education. And look, I started with his name, and again, the turning point in his life, education, law education, and why he opted Lincoln's Inn, the school of law. Why? Because other school of laws were also there, because Lincoln's Inn accepts Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the great law givers of the world. So look, that thing is over there. He is joining Lincoln's Inn, but still his what we could say relation to his own roots is very visible. Look, the task Allah has given to him, he was chosen one. He was trained, groomed, mentored by everything. Indigenous, religious, what was the Hindu system, and then the English system. This was the vision he then used for the independence of the Muslims of South Asia. For that very purpose, he just not opted just bookish knowledge. He also absorbed the practical application of what the law of the British of that time was. He was very frequent to just not the parliament of that time, House of Commons over there. At the same time,
used to visit it very regularly.
Yes. And he was looking at how people are having arguments, counter arguments, and at the same time, he used to go to Hyde Park and listen how people are freely saying something, and people are having this tolerance and like this. So he was groomed. And as in the intro you both said about Quaid-e-Azam and Hajra particularly, that how Quaid-e-Azam was Quaid-e-Azam, that he showed himself as a statesman, as a constitutionalist.
That's true.
And today people are saying that nobody could be a politician if he is not behind the bar. But now we have father of the nation, very clean, very bold, very what is confident,
law-abiding citizen.
Yes, of course, having his own vision, and he was having that strong character, that strong will, that once he went to see the viceroy, and viceroy was late, so he went back. He said, no, I am not that much easy cake for you. I have other engagements, and he went back.
Exactly.
So today you look at that time, what was imperial power of the
and
British?
that's the kind of leadership that you know we certainly probably
yes, of course.
Yeah, we would want to see, or the character of a leader that we would want to see in today's world as well.
That's true. And Professor Salman Saab, now let's move on to you and let's reflect on when he comes back from the Oxford. We see that he joins Congress, and that was I would say a more popular reflection here in the subcontinent, that the Congress is reflecting the aspirations of the common masses, of the Indians, of the people of the subcontinent, right? But that illusion was soon shredded, because we know that how it was hijacked by the Hindu leaders, and Nehru did not accommodated his views, and then he had to leave. Congress at one point. But there was a point, I think in 1960s, when he was offered the title of Ambassador of Hindu-Muslim Unity by Mrs. Naroji Sanedu.
Naroji,
Yes, right. So now let's reflect on that time period, you know, how he was also in the Muslim League, how he was also in the Congress, but the more he struggled for the decolonization, the more clarity he gained as a leader, as a statesman.
Because he helped him, you know, kind of sit into the British Parliament as well. Naroji was actually running for the British Parliament back then, and he was a part of the campaign.
That's true, that's true.
Well, here we can talk about his adaptability, that it's very difficult to change the notions, the lifelong notions which you have. And his lifelong notions and his viewpoints were that one united India, where Hindus and Muslims can live together. And at the Lucknow Pact in 1916, he was named the Ambassador of Hindu-Muslim Unity. But when we look at this man, a man of vision, a man of foresight, and a man with superior insight and integrity, yet willing to change his stance, when he saw that Hindus are not to be relied upon and the British are siding with the Hindus against the Muslims, so he changed his stance, and he then went over to the other side, demanded a separate homeland for the Muslims.
And in addition to this, you know, there's one more thing which I'm always very fascinated with, you know, whenever I think about it, and that is that, you know, for anybody to be a leader in today's world, what we see is that there will be multiple social media campaigns, there will be think tanks working for a particular political party or a political leader that says this is what you need to say to the public, this is how you need to address the public. When we read or when we study about Quaid-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, there's hardly anyone who has been telling Quaid-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah that these are the things that you need to do. He knew it all back then as well, you know. So where do you think that he gained that influence of being that leader that we see today?
Well, he was a very well-read person, but there is one notable exception, Allama Iqbal.
Yes.
When he went back after the Quit India movement and the Hijrat movement, and when people were not listening to him in the initial stages.
Allama Iqbal Sahab went and convinced him.
And that's a very interesting anecdote, if you allow me to.
Sure.
That Nawab Mohsin-ul Mulk and so many others, and Liaquat Ali Khan, all of them were trying to bring him back, and he was steadily refusing that. No, I am very successful as a barrister now. I tried earlier, I am not going to go back. And then it's a very interesting thing that Allama Iqbal, who was a very romantic idealist and a poet, and a poet with that romantic imagination. So when he went and said, Mr. Jinnah, we need you, you have to come back. So he said, Mr. Iqbal, I am an advocate. My name is Jinnah. If you like, I can fight a case for you in court. But tell me, I am also a realist. Why should I come back? So Iqbal thought for only a moment or two and then said, okay, Mr. Jinnah, I give you your biggest brief, Pakistan. So that's the first time that Jinnah Lajwab, yani he was at a loss for words. And then he came back, and then when he came back, then he started in earnest the struggle for Pakistan, and he did not stop until he had realized the greatest Muslim nation in the world with his inspiring leadership.
Right.
Alhamdulillah. And in addition to this, you know, because we have spoken about, you know, you spoke about 1960 an ambassador of Muslim Hindu unity, and it has worked phenomenally well as well. I would certainly want to jump ahead as well, because we short on time too as well. So Basis Sahab, you know, let's you know, come down to 1940, you know, because that's the time, and you know, in reality there was a constitution, and you know, everything was happening, and there was immense load of pressure onto the, you know, all the population, Muslim population as well. So from 1940 till 47, how was the struggle, and what did really go down the line in the history?
Yes, but this is a very, what we could say, pertinent to say that why 1940?
Yeah.
Instantly before that, there was a 1937 Congress ministries in India.
That's true.
Look what Quaid-Azam was saying to people, that what is the Congress mindset. People were not understanding in that particular way, but when they have seen the naked attitude of the Congress people in the ministries and how they were dealing with, at that time still Britishers were over there. They were not wholly, solely ruling India, but in majority provinces they were having government. So what they have started, they were claiming that they are what would say followers of composite nationalism. But where was composite that nationalism at that time, when in every school of that very time of Congress ministries, every student has to bow in front of the portrait of Gandhi,
yes.
and at the same time the Congress flag was hoisting on the schools and government, this Tiranga Jhanda was over there, and at the same time you see what they have to in their assemblies, they have to purely Hindu song they have to sing.
Yeah.
So this is what, and then what they were doing with Muslims over there. So that was easy for Quaid-e-Azam now to convince people, because what he was saying, people watch that from their own eyes.
True.
That is why the turning point, 1940, 22nd to 24th session and 23rd March, that was what Muslims of South Asia decided, that now the only solution is separate homeland to practice Islam. And if we look at the speech of Quaid-e-Azam over there in Lahore, Minto Park of that time and Iqbal Park of today, and the beautiful this Minar-e-Pakistan is over there. We all must visit there and look what Quaid-e-Azam said, and what was the Pakistan resolution at that time. It was Lahore resolution.
Yep.
The only occasion in the life of Quaid-e-Azam, he explained so elaborately, and as a student of history and as a student of Iqbal and Quaid-e-Azam, I can just feel that one must feel this thing, that it was looking that Iqbal is saying through the words of Jinnah,
Kya baat hai.
and that was true reflection of who saw the dream and who is taking that dream to reality.
And I think if I had to surmise what Professor Abdul Basit Mujahid Saab has said, that we were Muslims not by the definition but by the discrimination, and how the Congress used to handle the entire affairs of the people of the subcontinent there when they came into the power. But we will rapidly move on to Professor Salman Saab, because
And in
of the
addition to this,
paucity
Hajra,
of the
very
time.
quickly, you know, so
Ji.
people, you know, if they want a better understanding, because we go to 46 different countries, you still can see how Muslims are treated in
That's true.
India. You know,
That's
so I
true.
think everybody will have a fair thing to see over
That's
there.
true. So fast forwarded to now, Professor Salman Saab. So where do you think are the gaps that we haven't filled when it comes to the Quaid-e-Azam's teaching as a leader and as the founder of the nation?
And are we living by the vision of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, or do we really need to make a few tweaks, or we need to make some tremendous changes?
Well, we certainly
Profound question, yeah.
we certainly need to make changes, because one thing, he was a very well-read person. We have gone away from books. And then secondly, he was a man of vision, integrity and foresight. And integrity, with due respect, due apologies, is lacking in our leaders. What we lack is leadership, the great leaders like Jinnah and like Abraham Lincoln. The great leaders, the leadership, we have a void, a vacuum in our society for so long. After Jinnah, we can hardly see, barring one or two exceptions, we can hardly see any leader emerge on our national
Or
forefront.
being a leader.
Oh, yes.
You know, the definition of a leader.
Definition of a leader.
Not taking instructions from anyone, yeah.
Yes. So, being a man of integrity, being a man of vision, having originality, believing in something, because if you believe in something, then that will come out strongly. But here people don't believe in anything. Your leaders, they are completely shilly-shallying and vacillating persons. So when you believe strongly in something, then there is force in your words, in your actions. And Quaid-e-Azam knew what he wanted. Of course, he had the adaptability, but once he set his mind to it, he performed that, the determination, and also we can say that Iqbal's khudi, ego, that was reflected in Quaid-e-Azam, because he always used to say that what I am doing is right. A very interesting quote about Quaid-e-Azam, which very few people know. He said once, I never care whether anything is wrong or right. If anything is presented to me and I see it is wrong, I make it right.
Exactly, and I was about to mention this. I just wrote it over here. You know, it's a very famous quote
Right.
by him that he used to
Right.
say that I take a decision first and then make it right. Very quickly, sir, I believe that you've written a poem or something about Quaid'S Muhammad Ali Jinnah, which you would like to share with our viewers. Please go ahead.
Yes, and in Jinnah's own style, as you always
Sure,
request.
sure. We would love to see
And
that.
Jinnah said, Pakistan is here to stay. For this you must exert both night and day. Forget differences, cooperate, stand as one. Nepotism, jobbery, sectarianism, such evil shun. For your battle is not yet won. You have hosts of problems, your size is small, but your courage must make up for it all. Remember the great men of old, how they did face all their problems with firmness, finesse, and grace, managed to accomplish their purpose, come what may. So, my countrymen, listen to what I have to say. And then it's a very long poem.
Wow, and it's wonderful, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you
For
so
kind
much.
of reminiscing, and for people who might have witnessed Quaid'S Muhammad Ali Jinnah in their life. They might have gone through nostalgia just now because of what you actually spoke and how you spoke about it as well. Very quickly, sir, towards the end, anything which you would like to share, because let's connect it with this one, because I still remember my grandfather used to tell me that there used to be public announcements that even if Quaid'S Muhammad Ali Jinnah was coming in for a procession or something, there would be announcements that no school children can come until and unless that they are free from the school as well. Imagine in today's time and world where we live, there are people gathering other people to take into processions and jalsa gahe as well. So anything you would
Because
want to
he
connect with.
was Quaid-e-Azam, he was
Alhamdulillah.
father of the nation. So he knew what example he has to set. But we are not following. The problem is that we are just drumming that Quaid-e-Azam was Quaid-e-Azam, but he made this country. Why we are not following? We all have to think in the way and in the vision of Quaid-e-Azam if we want to be successful in this life and hereafter as well. Look how he sacrificed his own life, his own everything for us. So at least we must be thankful in this way that we must follow his principles. What we are doing nowadays, where is that Pakistani nation? We are everything, but we must be Pakistani first.
Inshallah, sir, it's a promise, by me, Hajra, and all other Pakistanis who are out there as well, that we are statesmen or women and we will continue to serve the country no matter what. But thank you so much, gentlemen, for being over here on the occasion, auspicious occasion of the birth of the father of the
Thank you
nation.
so
For
much.
everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, while we are celebrating Quaid Day, we cannot forget that it's Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas as well. So let's talk about that and let's enjoy a little bit, Do you know a Christmas song?
No.
Let's sing it after a break.
Welcome back, and before going on to the break, we were ruminating over the Quaid-e-Azam's life, and we were reflecting that how we can be a better person, better people, better citizens if we emulate what Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah has taught us. But now, like Shahzad mentioned, we are also celebrating Christmas Day, and there are lots of very interesting, very cute tradition of the Christmas. Shahzad, for example, when you enter PTV, you will find that there is an amazing Christmas tree which is decorated, and there are lots of gifts. I haven't opened any one of the gifts, but I would really interested that what is lying
I'm sorry
inside
that
it.
I'm saying it over here, but I guess they were unable to find a Santa, so they actually posted a panaflex of a Santa as well. So I was
Right.
like, okay,
Right.
at least they're making sure that everybody is being a part of this festivity, and it's always joyous and wonderful. And where my grandparents live in Rawalpindi,
Yes.
it's actually in the middle of the entire Christian
Yes, the
community, and we would
Girja
always,
Chowk, yeah.
and we would always have friends coming over, us going over to their places on Christmas and then coming over to,
Right.
our place on Eid. And, it was a wonderful tradition. And everybody becomes a part of this festivity as well, because, wherever you're going to go, you're going to see these lights and amazing and Santas and everybody's excited.
And we will also explore in the studio whether we have a gingerbread man here or not, right?
Yeah.
So that's very interesting traditions, and we would like to explore it. And we would also like to explore that how they celebrate their Christmas, because I believe that is in the center of the winter vacations or at the winter. So without any further ado, we would like to introduce our worthy guest here. We are very glad that we have been joined by a gentleman here who has graced us in our studio. He happens to be Mr. David Albert. He is a Christian Minority Alliance chairman. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, and how are you doing today?
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to both of you as well,
Thank you
and
so
to the entire nation. And thank you for having me again.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's always wonderful to have such a smart, elegant, well-spoken gentleman over here in the studios.
Thank
on
you very
Christmas.
much.
And alongside him, ladies and gentlemen, we're lucky that we have been joined by brothers over here who will be singing gospels for all of us and our viewers who are out there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've been joined by Mr. Daim Fayaz. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
How are
salam.
you? Merry Christmas.
I'm good. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure for me to hear. And
Thank you so much, because you weren't feeling really well, but you're still over here inside the studio. It's wonderful to have you
No
over
problem.
here. And alongside him, we're very lucky that we have been joined by Ashaf Fayaz. Hello, assalamu alaikum, Merry Christmas.
Assalamualaikum, Merry Christmas.
So you have to respond with tabla. Come on, so if I say Merry Christmas, how do you respond to us with tabla?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you so much for that closing note and the reaction. But let's move on to David Bhai. David Bhai, thank you so much. First of all, how's the day going so far? What has been happening?
I mean, the Christmas, as usual, it starts with the church service. So, that's the most important thing.
Right.
And then it's, as with all the, festivities of any religious festival, meeting friends, family, spending time with family, going out, and all of that, but enjoying the spirit of Christmas.
Right.
Wow.
So what is this tradition of trees, celebrating the trees? And there's this particular sort of a tree, I think conifer tree, or what do you call it? I am not aware of that. But can you reflect upon this tradition of celebrating the tree? Sometimes it's the artificial tree, sometimes it's not the, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the tree, it's, it's called the Christmas tree.
Yes,
But
yes.
if you just look at the specific, the
co-
triangle,
conifers, yeah, the
it's
cones.
the shape. A couple of things about it. I mean, the triangle is the Trinity.
Oh,
It reflects the Trinity.
okay.
The green
Interesting.
is eternal life.
Yes, yes,
Yeah?
yes.
So that's linked with it, and the decorations on it, the golden color which is used, that's for the kingdom.
Right.
The kingdom of the God.
Right.
So it's not just a tree. It has lots of messages in it as well, and
Right.
it reflects lots of things about Christmas and the whole message of Christmas in the Bible.
Right.
Exactly. And while you're speaking about it, I remembered, so just a week ago I was in Malaysia, and the hotel I was staying
Okay.
in, they had a fabulous Christmas tree, a tree which I've never ever seen, maybe movies and whatnot. So it was like 3 or 4 stories long, tall,
my God, right.
and then every branch of it was rotating with a lot of gifts on it. And each and every person who was staying at the hotel was actually allowed to pick up a gift, and it
that's
was filled with
wonderful.
chocolates. It was wonderful to see, the entire environment, the ambience of it. But very quickly, because it's
So
a
did you find the
religious-
opportunity to
because
plug some chocolate there?
because it's a religious fest. Every time we talk about chocolates, ladies and gentlemen,
That
I'm being-
triggers a strong
I'm being
emotional
snubbed
reaction.
because I haven't brought any for Hajra and my team. But one more thing, and that is that so every time, when Eid's approaching,
Yeah.
so obviously you're not in that age category, you're all grown up, alhamdulillah, you have a successful life and a career, and may Allah keep it this way. So what happens is that for us, okay, kharcha aa raha hai, thodi Eidiyan deni hai, and all of that. So you really need to plan a lot of things. How is it for you on Christmas? Do you plan a lot?
It's not different at all. It's entirely the same. It's entirely the same, और आपने कहा ना कि you said कि success and everything, but sort of it increases, this responsibility increases. A few years ago it was just children.
Yeah.
Now it's the children's children,
Grandchildren,
right? The
Oh,
grandchildren. So no, it's almost the same. And the thing is that it all starts from 1st of December. So the Christmas is whole month, and it continues from almost 1st of December to the 1st of January, So it's a whole month of activity.
Wow.
Right. So Daim, we will move on to you, and so tell us about how do you observe Christmas, and walk us through your routine. I mean, you go to the church and offer the service like our worthy guest mentioned. It is a very important aspect of that. So and how do you generally go through it?
Basically, I believe so. As all we know, that Christmas season is kind of a season which is celebrated in whole entire the world. Everyone is celebrating. Everyone is happy, and they're decorating their homes and different dishes. Few days ago, we had a Thanksgiving as well,
Oh,
and I believe so. It's a kind of a
What do
happiness.
you do on a Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving, we spend
Everybody
whole
comes
year.
over?
or everybody have a get together, having some dishes, different kind of dishes, cookies, enjoying the day.
Wow.
And like they pray, like they spend whole over the entire year in the grace of God. And there is many blessings on their
more like a
family.
prayer.
Yes.
That we are thanking God, for whatever.
They had
God
a
has
get
bestowed
together
upon
and
us.
prayer and thanking the God. And and then from very first of the December, whole month, as sir said, that is Christmas decorations everywhere, every people enjoy, and we passing the smiles to everyone.
Wow, that's wonderful. So as a kid,
Yeah.
as a kid, whenever it was Christmas time, what was that one gift that you always wanted but never got? I'm sorry. I think I've been through this myself as well. It's all right. Yeah, go ahead.
There are a number of gifts.
Since it's Christmas Day, it's all
Yeah.
laughter and fun, and ladies and gentlemen, it's thanking Allah Almighty and God. So let's go ahead. Let's listen to a gospel first of all for all of those viewers who are out there. This one's for you. Merry Christmas. Asabai, let's do it.
So I'm gonna sing a gospel song related to our Christmas season, and I hope you will be enjoy.
Yes.
And
definitely.
all for my viewers as well. So in this song we will gonna hear the significance of the star.
Okay.
In
Okay.
the Christmas trees we look
Right.
over the stars, Lord of the Stars, and let's sing together. एक तारा चमका है, एक तारा चमका है, एक नूर सा उतरा है, एक नूर सा उतरा है, हर गली गली रोशन, हर गली गली रोशन, पुरनूर नजारा है, एक तारा चमका है, एक तारा चमका है, फूल खिले कलियां मुस्काई, तारों की बारातें आई, हो फूल खिले कलियां मुस्काई, तारों की बारातें आई, हो फूल खिले कलियां मुस्काई, तारों की बारातें आई, फूल खिले कलियां मुस्काई, तारों की बारातें आई, एक तारा चमका है, एक तारा चमका है, एक नूर सा उतरा है, हर गली गली रोशन, हर गली गली रोशन, पुरनूर नजारा है, एक तारा चमका है, एक तारा चमका है. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was wonderful.
Lovely.
Ek Tara
Lovely.
Chamka hai. And this brings me back to Mr. David as well. So, Joshua, first of all, we're missing you over here, and congratulations on a baby to you too as well. Your father's really happy about it. When you see a third generation, I think that's something which is obviously very wonderful as well. So, for a newer member to come into family and it's Christmas time, how is Dada or the Nana behaving already?
The Nana is, the Dada is
Dada.
really behaving ridiculously. All my time is now spent with Nathan,
Yeah.
right? And, he's already in that Christmas mood as well. I was abroad recently. I brought a Christmas father's dress for him.
Wow.
Oh,
You know,
wonderful.
so he was a Santa on one of the activities that we had. So really enjoying it. Really enjoying it.
Exactly. And, from here onwards today, because it's Christmas, so what will be your activities and how will you take us through that? Okay, this is
Yes.
something which is more religious for us, right? When the entire family is going to come down after the after the church? You know, what really happens throughout the day?
Again, sort of, as I said, sort of it's getting together, the family getting together. Sometimes it's just having sort of, food at home, or all of us just going out and celebrating it. The services almost sort of end with this service at sort of the midday service. And then sort of the next service is now next Sunday, which is at the New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So in between that, it's just family time. It's just relaxing.
Vacations,
it's just
no work, no nothing.
No work, and just enjoying.
And enjoying the winters too,
exactly,
right? Yes.
Exactly. But Shehzad, I was just thinking, about Christmas and the relevance of Christmas, and actually, the message of Christmas and what is happening in the world these days. We often talk, and the message of Christmas is, unconditional love, it's hope. It's love for everyone and sacrifice. But when we look around the world, what is happening? The way humanity is being killed. Whether it's Palestine-Israel conflict, whether it's Ukraine. I think we need to bring that message back now. The message of unconditional love and sacrifice and giving hope to who they don't have hope. I know, the message of Christmas maybe 2,000 years ago when Christ came, but it's still relevant today.
Right.
It's very much relevant, and we need to get this message across to the nations.
Exactly. And
Across
thank
to
you
the
so
nations.
much. And thank you so much for speaking about it as well, because all of those lives needs to be remembered, needs to be prayed for as well, and cherished too as well, because they didn't, all of those people didn't lose their lives for no reason. It's not that it's going to go in vain. I think that, that certainly really needs to kind of, or have already highlighted the struggle of the people in those parts of the world as well. And we cannot leave out Kashmir, when we speak of it, may it be Palestine, may it be Kashmir, may it be the people of Ukraine, so wherever, there are humanitarian crises or the violation of human rights, ladies and gentlemen, we really need to speak about it. And may it be Christmas, may it be Quaid Day, may it be Eid Day, I think that every single day will be a day where this message needs to go out from each and every platform.
Exactly.
We will continue to do so.
Exactly.
And now, since it's Christmas as well, there's something that we, or PTV World and our entire team wanted to do for all of you as well, and for all our viewers who are actually celebrating Christmas. But that's a surprise. We're heading out towards a short break. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, the surprise will be unveiled right in front of you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back. And for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, since it's Christmas Day today, so we wanted to kind of have a celebration over here inside the studios on behalf of PTV World and our entire team. So, David, I'll request you to do the honors. And meanwhile, you guys can actually sing us a jingle. So go ahead, start singing, and David Bhai will do the honors.
Request our producers.
Yeah, let's do it. Aja. Okay, and start singing as well. Let's do it.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Wow.
We wish you
All of
a
this needs to
Merry
go together.
Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And a Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you very much.
And a Happy New
An
Year.
honor.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. Celebrate a very happy Merry Christmas. And for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, remember that it's Pakistan first, and that all of us are Pakistanis, and that's how we celebrate. This is how inclusive we are as a nation. Until next time, look after yourselves. Asar, thank you so much for being with us. Lovely to have you over here, and thank you so much, Sir David. Thank you so much, Diane. For everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. Celebrate with a lot of festivity. Allah Hafiz.
And
Good
Merry
morning.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.